Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So pleased to have you all online today on a really amazing event. This time we will go live with teachers and students globally. So we are really excited to hear where you are listening to from your country. Feel free to drop it in our chat. Jen, how are you doing?
Hi, Koen. I'm fantastic. So excited for our webinar today. Koen, did you know we have students joining from all around the world, every age level, ready for action for today for our Build the Change webinar?
That's amazing. I can see people from Romania, Peru, Chile, and so many different countries, also from India, Sierra Leone, and so many different countries. Keep dropping those in the chat so we can see where everybody is coming from. We have a full show today. We will be having amazing guests. We will be having a real Lego designer as well who will be sharing, but we also have a few schools globally from different continents will be sharing their solution for the Tiger Challenge. But we will be sharing a bit more about that in a few seconds.
That's right. So our community of teachers and students for the past several years have been building the change, and every month taking on challenges using materials that they have available, Lego bricks, recycled materials, arts and crafts, submitting their solutions to care for people and our planet. And today we are celebrating one special challenge that is going to be all about tigers. So we can't wait for this hour. We're going to be together. As Koen mentioned, we have some very special guests from the Lego Group team, and we are even going to hear from students who have been working on this challenge to take care of the Bengal Tigers.
That's amazing. Jen, how about bringing the students just online for a few seconds? So
I think we should.
Hi.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Students, are you
Let's
ready? Amazing. So we have people from India, China,
see you all.
Belgium, the US. We will be having students from China and Mexico as well.
That's right. They have been waiting backstage eagerly, preparing for today's event. And everyone joining from schools and homes around the world, get ready because you're going to have an opportunity to participate as well. So start gathering up some materials, anything you have available. If you have arts and crafts, if you have Lego bricks, if you have recycled materials, get them in front of you because coming up a little bit later on, we're going to push over the challenge to you.
That's amazing. So let's bring on our first guest, Jen.
Let's do it. So straight from Studio 2B, we have our awesome friend, David. Hi, David.
Hey, guys. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Are you well?
We're super pumped, ready for a great event.
Me too. It was so nice seeing everyone jump on just now. I'm getting excited to hear more from them later. That was a really nice way to start the event. Love that. And so many people from around the world. So cool. It's awesome.
Isn't it amazing?
Awesome. It is. And we have a fun-packed hour ahead, as you said. Shall we get going? Should we launch straight in?
Yeah.
I would love to do that. Well, before you share the screen, Koen, I'll give a quick intro to who I am. Yeah, freeze. My name's David, everyone. If we haven't met before, nice to meet you. I am based in London, UK, but I've lived overseas for much of my life. So a lot of the places you mentioned, I've either visited or lived in, which is super fortunate. I love traveling. And as part of that travel over the years, I've grown a fascination with the natural world. And that's what we're going to be talking today. Because believe it or not, I have a job in the Lego Group where I can combine the power of play with creative ideas that can change the planet, change society, and all of those ideas come from you guys. I love doing that with my finger. I think it creates more impact, doesn't it? And Koen, Jen, we've been doing this together for a few years now. I recognize some of the schools that are involved. we've got a really lovely community, haven't we? I'm really, really proud of what everyone's achieved. But yeah, as I said, we're going to look at Build the Change today, and we will start that now, I think. Let's dive in. Let's dive straight in. So we've got our slides for you. There we go. So the Build the Change challenge today, as Koen mentioned, is all about Bengal tigers and climate change. Now, you might be wondering, well, why are we looking at Bengal tigers? This was one of the topics that we have in our Build the Change portfolio. And let's face it, a lot of people around the world love a tiger. Tigers are pretty popular. And I've got one right here, and you're going to hear more about this one later. Look at this one. Look at that. Quite fierce. It's got big teeth on it. Of course it's got big teeth. It's a hunter, but it's also pretty amazing animal. And we'll be talking more about this actual set later, this actual build later, because we've got the designer with us. Anyway, let's dive straight in. So Build the Change is all about, let me move the slide through. There we go. Build the Change, as I mentioned earlier, is all about ideas. It's all about creative ideas. All of you have these amazing imaginations, which, let's face it, grown-ups start to lose as they get older, and that's a real shame. I've tried to hold on to mine. I'm really trying to hold on to it because it's so great to have. Now, all of you know, if you have imagination, you can come up with ideas and you can make change happen. Yes, it needs sometimes more than one idea, sometimes more than one person. It definitely needs communities to kind of help change happen. It needs brilliant minds like yours. And that's what Build the Change is all about. It's about giving you a chance to explore solutions for real world problems. Problems in the environment, problems in community around you. Whatever the real world problem, we want to create a space for all of you young people to come together, ideate, and then make change happen. Now, your ideas, plus your voice, you all have voices, you'll share with people around you, share with your caregivers, your family, your teachers, sometimes even the government or town hall near you. But all of those sharing with ideas creates impact. And that's what Build the Change is all about. So what are we going to do today? Well, first of all, we're going to immerse you in the topic. We're going to give you some cool animations. We love animations in this team. We're going to watch some animations. We're also, as I mentioned, going to hear from George, our superstar Lego designer. I nearly said superstar DJ. Maybe he's a DJ too. We'll find out in a second. But he's our superstar designer. He's going to tell us all about how he thought about the tigers when he was designing them. So that's going to be our immersion. Then we're going to give you the challenge. Then we're going to hear from schools on how they've been tackling it. And then Koen, Jen, and I are also going to try and build some solutions. Now, the aim of the game today is not to finish your ideas within the hour. We want to start you on that journey, and you can continue after the hour's finished. So don't feel you have to finish everything today and go crazy and build everything. You don't have to do that. Just finish when you want after the session. So immerse, create, share. That share piece is really important. Whoever you share with, it's gonna make a difference. People have to hear your ideas, and we have to find opportunities for that to happen. So without further ado, Koen, if this works, let's watch the video introduction to Build.
Are you ready to build the change? The Earth needs your amazing ideas to take on the big challenges that our planet and people face, like protecting the environment or building a future where everyone is included. Building the Change is all about using imagination and play to come up with your creative ideas for a better, more sustainable future. Because your ideas are awesome. And everyone needs to hear them, from your friends and local decision makers to world leaders and people everywhere. So, are you ready to build the change?
Wow. Every time I see that, I get energized. I hope you did too. Brilliant. Now, as you can see on the screen, we are going to dive into our topic. We've told you that we need your ideas, we need your voices, we need to hear them, we need you to share them with whoever's around you. We need people to value children's ideas much, much more than they already do. I'm sure you agree with that. You all have amazing ideas to share. Now, we are looking at biodiversity today and climate change, two things that, of course, connect. Now, we all know that biodiversity, if you don't know, it's very important. We'll be looking at what biodiversity is, of course, in a second. And then we'll also be looking at climate change. So very quickly, biodiversity is how many species of animal or living things, can be plants, bacteria, anything like that, however small, however big. It's how many species you can find in a certain area. So let's say we take 1 meter square and we count all the different species in it. That is either a high number or a low number. If it's low biodiversity. So somewhere like a car park or somewhere like a grass lawn, it's not so good. It's not so good for biodiversity. Now, if we do the same thing in a rainforest, what do you think is going to happen? High or low? Correct. High. We're going to get hundreds of species in that 1 meter. So biodiversity is very important, but it is in trouble. So let's have a look at the next slide. This is an example of that. And don't get too worried because people are working very hard on this stuff. But we have 8.7 million species on this beautiful planet of ours. I mean, all living things. We don't own it. Humans. Every living thing has a right to be here. And it needs protecting. How many habitats do we have? So many. We can't count. There's so many different habitats. We'll be looking at one very special habitat today. But the bad news is, of course, as you all know, there are a lot of species facing extinction. There are 1 million, to be exact. That is a lot. But have no fear. A lot of people are working very hard, conservationists, scientists, you guys, to come up with ideas to protect them. So let's move along here. We've got some big words today. We've got habitat. That's where animals live. That's where, you know, my habitat is, let's see, a nice living room with a cup of tea and a book, and maybe a little bit of tea. But that's not your typical animal's habitat. Tigers, of course, live in several different habitats, and we'll be hearing more about that later. Biodiversity, I've already described. So that little image there, that looks like quite a lot of species there. And then impact. Impact, I'm sure you know what that means. Impact is, it can be negative. It can be negative impact, or it can be positive impact. Now, your ideas will all be about positive impact. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So when you hear impact, have no fear, that is positive. Right, I think it's time to watch a short clip, another animation on climate change. Koen, over to you.
This is Earth. Its climate, or usual weather, is different in different places. Hot or cold, wet or dry. Each place's climate supports habitats for living things, giving them what they need: food, water, and shelter. If the climate changes very quickly, it can impact those habitats and threaten the things that live there. Unfortunately, that's what's happening right now. Climate change means the usual weather all over the Earth is changing more quickly than ever in human history. One of the biggest changes is that things are getting hotter. This is called global warming. It's mainly caused by greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide going into the Earth's atmosphere when we burn fossil fuels like coal and oil. The climate's delicate balance means even small temperature changes can cause big changes everywhere, like hotter summers, colder winters, extreme weather like floods and storms, green places turning into deserts, and melting ice caps at the North and South Poles, making sea levels rise. Living things may not be able to find food and water and have trouble dealing with changing temperatures. Even the space they need to live may disappear. Every species, or type of living thing, is connected to all the others in a balanced ecosystem. So when a species disappears, others that rely on it are also threatened, and the ecosystem can collapse. Healthy and stable ecosystems need many species working together. We call this high biodiversity. When biodiversity is low, it's bad for all species, and that includes us. So to keep the Earth's ecosystems balanced and healthy, we need to find ways to slow down climate change and fix the problems it has already caused. Luckily, our creative human brains are great at tackling these kinds of challenges. By protecting biodiversity and habitats and making changes, like bringing plants back to our cities to take greenhouse gases out of the air, and moving to renewable sources of energy to stop the gases being released in the first place, and driving less, reducing pollution. But to limit the impacts of climate change, we'll need more creative ideas like yours. Together, we can build the change.
Hello, folks. Very good. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I have been told my voice is very loud, so I'm going to try and keep it a bit lower so we don't have to play with microphones. Apologies if you were being deafened by my British accent. Okay, moving on. Let's think about what we just saw. Now, we have this planet, and all of you know, because you're part of the Take Action Global community, you know that there are some challenges around climate change, and a lot of species, as we've discussed already, are being impacted by it. So we need to think about solutions, fun, creative solutions to fix that. But let's look at our main species today. It is, of course, the Bengal tiger. Now, we've got another short clip coming for you on these, but they are one of 5 species of tiger found around the world. They're one of the biggest. They're not as big as the Siberian tiger, but they're pretty big, and they live typically in South Asia, so India, places like that, Bangladesh. They love Sundarban habitat, so mangroves on the coast, where they find their food, but we'll be hearing about that in a second. First of all, in the chat, if you can put it in the chat, I'm going to check now as well. I'm going to watch. Do you think tigers around the world need help? A quick poll. Let's see what you all say. 1 is not at all. No, they're fine. Leave them alone. They're good. 2 is, yeah, not really. And then 3 is yes. Let's see. Okay, we've got some 3s coming up. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people responding there. 3s, a lot of 3s. Yes, you're right. They absolutely do. And that's why we're on this webinar today to discuss that. Oh, a big 3 there from Demarata. Well done. Now, there are some big words coming in. We've got, of course, got sea level rise. This is a big thing for tigers, and you're going to see more of that in the animation in a second. So sea level rise is happening, as you probably know, because of changes in the ice caps. A lot of ice is melting and the sea is rising. And of course, that might be happening in the North and South Pole, but the impact of that is happening all over the world because our oceans, of course, reach everywhere. Now, prey. Prey is, of course, the word to describe something like a predator eats. A carnivore eats, an insect eats. It could be any size of organism, but it's something that they eat. So prey, a living thing that they eat. For a tiger, of course, it's deer, things like that. For a frog, for example, it's flies. For a hawk, it's other small birds. You get the picture. And then, of course, predator is the animal that eats the prey. And where does the tiger sit? I think it's the predator for sure. So let's watch our animation on tigers, and we'll see you back after that.
This is a tiger, a Bengal tiger to be exact. As predators, these beautiful big cats play an important role in balancing ecosystems. They can hear 5 times as well as humans, so it's not easy for their prey to hide. Mangrove forest habitats along the coast of India and Bangladesh are home to one of the largest populations of Bengal tigers in the world. Climate change is causing sea levels to rise, shrinking the areas where tigers can live and hunt. Global warming means drier seasons and forest fires threatening tigers and their food supplies. Luckily, people are working on creative ways to help protect tigers and their habitats. Restoring coastal mangrove forests can help hold back the rising seas. And creating fire breaks can help keep the tigers safe from spreading wildfires. But to protect Bengal tigers from the impacts of climate change, we'll need more creative ideas. Ideas like yours. Together, we can build the change.
Wonderful. So we just had a few. We're going to go to our special guest, very special guest in a second. But before we do that, let's see how much of that you caught. All right. So quiz question 1, put it in the chat. I'm going to have a little look and see what you guys respond. Let's see. Why is it tough for animals to stay hidden from Bengal tigers? A, they have X-ray vision. B, they have incredible hearing. Or C, they have amazing sense of taste, and they can taste the air and sense their prey. Let's see, which one of those is it? We've got A, we've got C, another B. Answer in the chat. A lot of C's. It is, in fact, B. They have incredible hearing. They can hear a much wider range than us, and that's so they can hear things moving in the dense jungle that they live in, the dense forest. They have way better hearing than us. They actually don't have great sense of taste, so we actually have more taste buds than tigers. There you go. So B is the answer. Right, moving on. The next question is, how is climate change impacting Bengal tigers? A, sea level is flooding the areas they live and hunt on. B, drier seasons mean there are more forest fires. Or C, both of above. Which one is it? Let's see. We've got B from Deepak. Gamay says C. We've got loads coming in. Okay, it is, of course, C. It's both A and B. There is sea level problems and there's more dry seasons. So there's more fires, unfortunately. Now, the final question before we welcome our guest. How can we help Bengal tigers and their habitats? A, create fire breaks to stop the wildfire spreading. B, encourage the tigers to live somewhere else. Or C, create more shade. So what do you think? Which one of those is the answer? We've got B from Christian. We've got, what else? Adira says A. Looking in the chat. We've got, okay, it is actually A. Create fire breaks. So you saw in the animation, if you create gaps in the forest, it means fires will stop and they won't be able to travel to the next section of forest. So very important to create those. You may have seen those where you live. I see them in the UK, for example, as well. Okay, well done on the quiz, folks. It is the time we've been waiting for. Enough of this guy talking, me, and more of this guy talking, George. George is a Lego designer. I'll let you tell more about what he does, but he is also the tamer of tigers, but as long as they're made out of Lego bricks. He is, of course, George Gilliat, our awesome Lego designer. George, are you there?
I'm here. Hello. How's it going?
Amazing. Hey, George, how you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm
incredible.
So excited to talk about tigers today, and I'm really sorry that I'm in such a boring room. Everything else in the building is top secret, so
don't worry. Don't worry. I mean, mine's not much more interesting. I've got some decals on the wall, but that's it.
Cool
that's it.
Or something on there.
I know. I don't know what that is. It's nice. It is. It's a squid, I think. Yeah.
Squid, maybe.
Very cool. I didn't realize. Thanks, George. There you go. There's a designer's eye. George, we've known each other a while. You've been in the Lego group a while. How long? Tell us a bit about your history.
Also, I have been a Lego fan my entire life, ever since I was 5 years old, when I got my first Lego set for my 5th birthday. And ever since then, I've just loved the joy of building the sets, taking them apart and building my own things. And I just didn't stop doing that. Even when I was at school, for my homework, we would be told to, I don't know, make a diagram of how longshore drift works for geography. And I would build it out of Lego bricks.
No way.
So it's always stuck with me. And then I went off to university once I finished school to study product design because I knew my dream was to become a Lego designer. And I was lucky enough to get an internship here. And I've been here for the past 6 years nearly, designing Lego models.
And you're going to talk a bit about one of your most recent, well, not most recent, it's a year or two now, but how many sets have you been involved in?
I think I've done about 38 sets that have come out already. And we work so far in advance on the product that there's about 10 more that haven't come out yet. So I'm super excited to talk about those in the future.
Oh, brilliant. Well, if you're available, we'll definitely have you back, as long as they're animal related, and we can
There's a
talk about
few.
them.
Maybe no animals
Nice.
from Harry Potter, but
Ooh, sneak peek there.
top secret there.
Exclusive. Now, George, the reason we asked you on today is, of course, because you helped with this incredible build. I mean, you didn't help with it, you designed it, and it really is a beautiful work of art.
Thank you
And
so much.
it is lovely. But I'd love to hear how you thought about it, how much kind of knowledge you went into to learn about the tiger and its colors and all of that. Is that something you can share with us?
Absolutely. I've even brought a little presentation
Amazing.
along that we can take a look at.
Ah, I love a man with a plan. Great. There we go.
Perfect. So I was working in a Lego team called Creator 3-in-1, which is a project where we make lots of different things, everything from a castle to a rocket to giant animals like this tiger. And we decided that we would do a tiger in this particular occasion because it would launch in January of 2022, which was the start of the Lunar New Year of the tiger. So that whole year was going to be all about tigers in Chinese tradition. So we thought, let's make the biggest, most exciting Lego tiger ever. So to start the research off, I looked at all of the other Lego tigers we'd made before. We'd made a couple of small ones. You can see a small one in the top corner, one that's very bricky in the bottom right corner, and even one that's a big kind of like battle tank that's driven by like tiger minifigures. But none of those were quite the big tiger that we were looking for. So I went back and looked at tons of pictures of tigers and got to work putting some bricks together. And this is the very first sketch model of what I came up with. I think I started with the face and tried to get all of the detail I could of the face and kind of base the scale off of that. Trying to build it with all of the articulation and posability that you expect from the tiger. The colors to me were super obvious of having this super bright orange color. We have a darker orange that's a bit more realistic to what a tiger is like, but it had to be a toy as well, right? And everyone knows tigers are iconic as being orange. So
Definitely.
once we've built a sketch model like this, we start looking at, okay, what can we improve upon this? How can we make it more accurate? The thing that really annoyed me in the beginning was the feet, because although tigers do have 4 big toes on their paws, to make 4 toes in this scale, the feet started looking really wide, a bit like it had like flippers on, like it was going diving. So we thought maybe we'll squeeze that down to 3 toes. And even though it's not super accurate, it's more better for the proportions. The other thing we were looking at is how do we do the stripes? Because obviously that's the most iconic part of a tiger. And I looked into what if we decorated this big orange bow element with this kind of wavy design. But we were looking at it and thinking that's not very good Lego DNA if we just decorate the stripes on, when if you're building a tiger this big, you really want to build those stripes. And then something special happened where we, at the Lego group, we make products for all different franchises. And at the time of developing this, they just finished making sets for the movie Raya and the Last Dragon from Disney. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie, but we developed a brand new piece for that. That is this little arch that was used in the roof of all of the temple scenes. And that arch matched up perfectly with one of our little bow elements. And then when they sit into each other, they make this lovely tessellating shape that I thought looked a bit like the stripes of a tiger with the curves in. So using that technique that you can see there, we then implemented that into the side of the tiger to create these beautiful stripes.
Wow.
Very cool.
We were very pleased about. And when people first started seeing pictures of this or seeing it around the office, they just could not work out how we'd done it. So it's always fun to impress people with our Lego models. But of course, we wanted to keep getting this as more and more accurate. So I went back, and this is when I started really studying tigers. So I would look at as many pictures as I could, but also watching videos of how the tigers would move. And it was at that point that I realized they had a very distinctive shape on the back, where they had a big area above their back legs, and then it would dip down and then go up high again just at the front legs, which is actually the highest part of their body. And then when looking back at the design that I made, I realized that I'd made it too high in the middle and too low on either side. So I developed that onto this design that I think you can agree looks much more fierce and strong, getting that little bump at the top. And with this newer design, you can see on the right, we also added a little side build, a little bit of context for the tiger, so you can see what environment it is and the little bird friend for it to hang out with. But you can also see on the tiger that we'd included a decoration piece just on the top of the stripes to finish them off. That's this small orange piece with 3 little spikes on it. And we thought that would be the perfect piece to finish off the stripes, and we could also use the same piece on the side of the face of the tiger. But one of our colleagues then made a very important observation that if you look here, we've got 2 of the number 4 on the side. And some people might not notice it, but some people did. And then we thought back to the point of making the product was all to celebrate Lunar New Year. And in China, the number 4 is a very unlucky number. So we thought, how can we get around this? Which is why for the final set, we actually changed the little decoration piece to have a little loop in it, which we think both made the tiger look more organic and beautiful, but also got rid of the number 4s on the side.
Cool.
And then so this is what the final tiger looked like. And you can see on the left as well that the side build updated a little bit. But because this is a Creator 3-in-1 model, making the tiger wasn't the final job. We had to figure out what else it could turn into. Because the box would look like this with a 3-in-1 logo at the top, and we'd have to turn it into 2 more things. So we thought, what are 2 other animals that come from the same region as the tiger, which is that kind of southeastern Asia area, that are also the same color as this, because it has to be made from the same bricks. So we looked at a red panda and a koi fish. So the challenge then was then, how can we take the same pieces and build those? And these are the 2 models that we came up with. And it's super helpful to have a Lego model that's got so many pieces in, because you've got so many opportunities to take the pieces and build them up. But we still had to squeeze an extra few pieces into the side builds to make them work. For example, for the red panda's ears, we needed something that we could hinge the ears on, which is why if we go back to this image, you can see that there's some bamboo on a hinge there, because we just needed to use those pieces to give the red panda its iconic angled ears.
Wow.
So that was the development
Amazing.
of the tiger set. It was so much fun to work on.
Wow.
And it was, at the time, it was the biggest Lego animal we'd ever made at 755 pieces. But,
no way.
In the Lego
didn't
Creator team, they're
realize that.
still making some like super awesome, amazing animals with even more pieces.
There's
exciting things to look forward to.
Can't wait for that. George, this is incredible. Jen, Koen,
Yes.
it's your first time to see that whole flow and all the ideas. What do you think?
This process. It's incredible, George. And we actually have some student questions coming in, maybe one related to this build process that you've just walked us through, coming from Cross Lanes Elementary, 4th grade students. They're actually backstage watching, but they're wondering about this design process and how long does it take to go from the idea that you walked us through to get to store shelves?
So this one, I remember I got the first brief for this in the summer of 2020, and the product launched on January 1st, 2022. So that was about 1.5 years. But every Lego product experience is different. The quickest one I've ever done was about half a year, and the longest one was about 3 years. Because it's not only us that has to design the model, and when the model's finished, it can't suddenly appear on the shelf. There's lots of other people involved in the process. So as soon as we're done with the model, someone has to design what the building instructions will look like. Someone has to design the packaging. And because these models are sold all over the world, we have to figure out how to get all of those different pieces and manufacture them in a little factory and then put them into the box. So there's a lot that goes into doing this, which is why it takes so long.
Incredible.
To get them from idea to shelf.
Wow. It's so many people involved, right, George?
That's what I was thinking.
Any other questions come in? Let's have a look.
All right. We do have more questions. So we have a lot of young designers, George, that are interested
I love to hear that,
in building and creating solutions, but also a lot of tiger enthusiast. So we have a couple different questions, and let's see. So we had a student share a question from a middle school in the United States. This is from Discovery Middle School. And here's the question for you, George and David.
Okay.
My name is Noah. I'm 13 and I have autism. My question is, if you have ever worked with someone on the spectrum, and how could someone like us have the possibility of working as a designer at the Lego Group? Super cool question.
Thanks so much for that question, Noah. And yeah, thanks for reaching out. We actually have a lot of fellow designers here who are also on the spectrum. And they're all amazing at designing Lego models too. When we're kind of looking for the next Lego designers, we're not really looking at what people's abilities are or what their background is. It's all about whether you have a passion for inspiring other people to build, which is like, that's super amazing, right?
Love that.
And even if doing that maybe isn't your cup of tea because you have to work with a lot of people in a team, we also have a department here for people who have disabilities or people who have been injured and getting back to work, where they get to spend all day building Lego models for different projects. And one of the amazing builders there is the person who actually came up with the idea of making Lego flowers, which is actually a huge success for us.
Yeah.
Across the world.
My gosh. My goodness, George, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And we just to add to George's thing, we are doing a lot more work around for children, neurodivergent children, so children on the autism spectrum, etc. There'll be more coming out of our programs on that, including Build the Change. So keep a lookout for that in future. It's a big part of our world. And yes, we work, as George said, with people on the spectrum all the time. But when I'm out and about with my team, we see a lot of children on the spectrum, and they're all awesome. All awesome, including my niece. So thanks for that question.
So important for our students to hear these messages. And I know we've learned a lot from you, David, on these skills, as George has just mentioned, but building skills around creativity and curiosity and creative thinking and problem solving, all through learning through play. So it's so important at every age to be playful, and so great to see Lego Group leading this. I think we have a time for another question.
I do, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. So, George, we have another question from 10-year-old Tywin from Peniel Integrated Christian Academy of Rizal in the Philippines. So Tywin wonders, what do you think using Lego bricks can do to help kids solve our world problems?
That's a super cool question as well. And a big one as well. I think that every time you try to build something out of Lego bricks, you're solving a little problem. Like when we were making the tiger, we're thinking like, how do we make a stripe out of Lego bricks? And I think the ability to solve those small problems can improve your problem solving ability, which can lead you on to then solving bigger problems. And yeah, maybe building a Lego model isn't going to change the world, but the skills you might develop doing that can help you with those in the future. And I also think that making Lego models is a great platform to present your ideas as well. Maybe if you aren't so good at speaking out loud, then maybe building a Lego model to show your ideas is a way you can do it.
Love that, George. And that's a good link to Build the Change, which is all about using whatever materials you have to build something and communicate an awesome idea that could change the world. And that's an incredibly powerful tool. So if it's Lego bricks or other materials in that process, depends what you've got around, but sharing those ideas, that creative process that George has just described, super, super important. Brilliant. What a great question. Anything else? Have we got time to squeeze one more? I know George has got to go. He's a busy man.
We can do one more if there's any more.
Yeah.
All right, let's
see.
We have some that are coming in from our audience of global classrooms that we can look at. This one is from backstage here too. What problems did you face on your journey to becoming a Lego designer? Any challenges?
So in Well, when you're at school, right, you do so many different subjects, and you develop so many different favorite ones. And for me, it was a tough decision what journey I should go down, because by the time I got to decide what I would study at university, I really loved product design and I really loved filmmaking. So I had to kind of weigh up which route do I want to go down. And I eventually chose product design, which led me to becoming a Lego designer. But I keep thinking about, what if I'd chosen the film path? Might I have still ended up here? Or might I be, getting an Oscar? Who knows?
Yeah,
And
why
also,
not?
when I got further down the process of becoming a Lego designer, I had to make the decision of, I got offered the job to come out here, but it's moving to a different country, which I know it can be daunting for a lot of people. And maybe some of you kids listening have had to move country so far in your lives. But yeah, it's a big decision to make. But I'm loving every second of it being in Denmark.
Amazing. And we're very lucky to have you there. Yeah, brilliant. George, thank you so much, buddy. Thanks
No
for
worries. It's been
jumping
so
on.
much fun talking to you all.
Yeah, it's been so special for us, right, Jen, Koen? It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Super
We're grateful
inspiring.
for this. Thank you so much.
Thanks, George.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the session.
We'll talk
Thanks,
to you soon.
George. Speak
Goodbye,
soon.
everybody. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, George.
Wow.
Wow.
That was
How
cool,
was that?
David.
That was super cool. What a
Yeah.
superstar. Thanks, George. Love it. I think we're going to go see some classrooms now, right?
We
Ooh.
will. Yeah.
Let's
Maybe
do it.
we need to share with the audience that they need to stay tuned, because we are about to start building something after watching what the schools came up with. But let's go to our first schools.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay.
That's right. All right. So we have some classrooms that have been backstage, eagerly ready to share about their process. Just like George had his process for creating and designing, they have been doing this in their homes, in their classrooms, in their local areas. So we are going to head first. It's probably pretty late, to China, to our good friend Raymond there. Hi, Raymond. So nice to see you. Thank you for being with us for this session today on Tigers.
Hello. Thank you so much,
Hey,
Jennifer.
Raymond.
Thank you, Koen and David. Hi.
Hey.
So I'd
Hello.
like to share my students' works here. Am I back? Yeah. So I'm Mitchell Africa. I'm from an educator from Xiamen, and we use this Save the Tiger challenge for my MYP design students. And here we deep dive first and research on the root causes of the problem. And then after that, I let my students ideate and design, and this is what they come up with, their prototype. So I have some students who created fire breaks, walls, protective barriers, solar-powered robot, as you can see here. Also, I have a student who made a drone sprinkler to solve wildfires. And it's really a great experience for my students to unleash their creativity through using Lego bricks and prototyping and designing to solve real world problems. And thank you so much, Lego, for this wonderful opportunity. And I really like how my students get into designing through these challenges that you have.
Thank you so much, Raymond, for sharing this. This is really amazing. And also, please tell your students that they did really well. It's really late over there in China right now, so they have not been able to join you, and they have exams as well. So I think it would be great if you can share with them how much this means to us, basically. Yeah. Thank you. So, Jen, we have another group of students and a teacher, and this one is in?
We're heading over to Build the Change in Mexico.
Ooh, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi,
Yeah.
everyone. Great to see you. We'd love to hear about your process and some of your solutions.
Yeah. Hello, this is Colegio Latino from Cárdenas, Tabasco. My name is Joaquin, and my partners' names are Luis Felipe García Díaz de León and Rafael Alejandro Reyes Dominguez. So, we are here to present our idea for the Tiger Challenge by reducing the carbon footprint in the Mexican houses. Well, as we know, the Panthera tigris is experiencing some crisis with the habitat loss. This due to high temperatures, temperatures increasing, seawater rising, fresh water, getting intruded with salt water, which also affects the sandy trees that live in the habitats of the Panthera tigris. This due to climate change, which is related to carbon monoxide and methanol productions, which also increase the temperature of the whole atmosphere. And this leads to multiple problems with environment, this related to the Panthera tigris. We are here to present some solutions that might help to reduce our carbon footprint related to the environment itself here in Mexico. And how are we gonna represent the ideas that and the solutions that we came in? Sorry, we put in here in this model two houses, one with the solar panel and with a working man installing the solar panel, and the other house with the solar panel already installed. We already put some green areas and a sidewalk with people walking in it. And instead of using another ways of transportation like a bus or a car, and some electric poles that is solar with powered with solar energy. And I think that's it. We represent in the model some of the ideas and the solutions that we came. Some conservation of green areas and also ventilation on the houses, while also keeping safe protected areas to preserve nature by itself. So to conclude, we exhort the other countries to follow these ideas to reduce the carbon footprint in the world. All of this will help to achieve the objectives in the Tiger Challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Koen, Jennifer, Lego Group. This is our proposals.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for the
That's
lovely
really
comments.
wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So well thought out.
Amazing.
I know one of our showcase schools really leading the way. So congratulations to you all in Mexico. It's awesome.
Awesome. So next we will be going to a school in Belgium. And here they are. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Great to see you.
So we are really eager to hear about your solution, Jen.
I am Mila. I am a student at Kent Jesu Hasselt. Hasselt is a city in Belgium, and we are grade 7. We are also going to introduce some solutions for the tigers.
Hi, I'm Flora. This is my building. You have a little platform where what absorbs the water, and all these trees have kind of like things stuck to them, so that if there's a fire, it would like spray all over, and that would make the fire disappear.
Hello, I am Marie, and my team, we built a big wall so the water won't come all over the land because the sea level is rising. So we built a wall so the water won't come all over the land, so their habitat stays big enough for the tigers.
Hello everyone, my name is Manu and I'm gonna tell about what my solution was. I built a dam to block all the water because one of the biggest enemies of the tiger is the water, because the climate change, the icebergs melt and the water rises in the woods or in the jungle, how you want to call it, and they go to the city, and that's very dangerous because they have a tiny space. They need very much space, and they can't get that in the city. And that was my solution. And I built a barrier so they can't fall in the water because it's hard to get out then.
Hi, I'm Elise, and my name is Fien, and we built a solution for the tigers. There are some walls so the water can get through it. Around nature, there are also some rivers so the tigers can drink because the ocean is blocked. And if there's a fire, And if there's a fire, it's not going to go everywhere because there's water. There's also a cave where the tigers can sit in when there's a fire. That's what we built.
Hello, my name is Nuran. We also joined the project Play for Schools, and these were our creations, and we hope that these will help the tiger. Greeting to all the countries. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Amazing.
How cool.
And I'm also in Hustle, so hello.
That's great. Are your neighbors right there, Koen?
Yes,
I love
of
it.
course.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Really
Bye-bye.
nice. Great to hear.
Bye.
Love it that they're building for someone other than themselves. You hear about empathy coming through as the young man talking about building a wall to support and protect. So congrats on that.
Amazing. Next, we will be going to India.
Ooh, hello, India. Good evening.
Not sure what's happening there with the video because we can see her backstage, but
Yes.
we are not able to see her
We'll try
on
again.
stage. Let's
There we
give it a
are.
try.
Hi,
Yay! Second time it did go well. Hi,
You're a great
Poonam. How are you
teacher.
doing?
Good. I'm good.
Okay. I don't think you have any student joining you, so maybe we can show a small video from them.
Perfect.
Greetings everyone.
Because it's late in the night and children are in the middle.
Jaipuria School, Lucknow are honored to showcase our projects focused on saving the Bengal tigers and protecting forests from wildfires.
Rising sea levels, tornadoes and storms, agriculture expansion, mining activities, illegal logging and encroachment, illegal hunting, trade of animal parts pose a significant threat not only to Bengal tigers but to all wildlife. To address this, we must take an action.
First of all, we are going to present a map of India, highlighting the regions where Bengal tigers are found, especially in West Bengal. This is their natural habitat, which is now at risk due to climate change.
But the good news is that there are effective solutions that we can implement.
AI and robotics for conservation. In the age of AI and robotics, we can use technology as a powerful tool to combat climate change. Here are 2 AI-powered robots designed and generated to protect forests.
Flame Buster, a sensor-equipped robot deployed in the forest areas to detect and extinguish wildfires before they were spread.
Forest monitoring robot that ensures tree health and alerts us about potential threats including predators. Additionally, restoring mangrove forests which act as a natural barrier, protecting tiger habitats from coastal erosions and storms. And by creating fire breaks and clearing vegetation can reduce large-scale forest destruction.
But the most important step is to plant more trees and spread awareness about the climate change. Together, we can protect our planet and its wildlife. Thank you.
Wow, Koen, that was awesome. Congrats to our classrooms in India.
And really sorry for Poonam not able to share about it, but next time we will manage.
Yeah.
So now we're going to the USA, Jen.
Right. Hello to Tiffany. Tiffany, great to see you. I know your students were backstage. I could see them cheering on and
They were
getting
so
all
excited.
excited.
We're actually at lunch now, but I promised I'd show them the recording. So they were thrilled, and they learned so much about the Lego designer. That was amazing.
Wasn't that great with George? Well,
Yes.
we appreciate their questions and them being there. But how's it been going with your design process?
Oh, it was so much fun. So I teach kindergarten through 5th grade. And the one that we're going to be showcasing today on the slide was from kindergarten. And kindergarten did have a hard time understanding how the ocean's water is rising. So we melted ice cubes in a little cup of water and marked it. So that way we could see how the water was rising. That really helped them as they designed their pieces. And I think you guys have a slide to show. These are 2 of the kindergartners projects. If you guys want to go ahead and share that, and I'll just talk while that's
Great.
up.
Yes, we'll get that right up. I think I can see Koen searching for it.
Right. Okay, so I'll check it.
Go ahead,
So
though. Go
we-
ahead,
we
Tiffany.
do some research on tigers. So it was really interesting to see what they brought into the elements when they were building. Most of them did build a wall to keep the water out. They were really upset that the tigers were losing their homes. They absolutely love animals. And then in our research, we found that tigers like to be isolated. They like their time alone. So one student built a little tree house so that tigers could have quiet time and time out. And then the other one built a platform on top so that the tigers could go up there, and he said so they can chill out. But it was really fun and I love these challenges because every kid gets a chance to showcase their personalities, what they feel is important. And I think in our education system, that's something that's definitely needed. So I can't thank you guys enough for these opportunities.
Oh, well, we appreciate you so much, Tiffany, and all of your students, the solutions that you all are sharing every month, and being here with us to share that learning through play can be at every age, and we can bring these topics around biodiversity, climate change, and protecting animals. Everyone can be part of it.
And it helps kids take a big topic and break it down on their level so they can understand it and become tomorrow's world changers.
Oh, that's so great to hear. Well, please tell them all congratulations.
Absolutely.
From
They
us.
can't wait to see it.
Oh, good. All right.
Thank
And we'll
you.
talk to you
Thank
very
you.
soon.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Thank you.
All right. So I think we are about to announce our challenge for everyone. Right, Koen?
Right, and so sorry, Tiffany, for not being able to find your presentation. It's a bit of a mess.
We have a lot of moving parts back here.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for that, but we will be sharing it, okay?
Yes.
So we have been working on a challenge with Lego Build a Change, and we're really excited about it. And the challenge can be found at our platform. We made a platform for this. For all of the challenges, you can find monthly challenges. Every month, we are bringing in a new global threat, which you need to solve. And the one we made for the tiger can be found here. We will be dropping it in the chat as well, so that you just click on the link and find the challenge.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And you can use any materials as you are working through these monthly challenges. So I've been working and I grabbed some pieces from nature. Yep, I have a whole story I've told in my mind here about how I'm going to save the tigers, but I'm bringing in friends. This is a clay little animal that my son made and some cardboard mice. And then we have our Lego bricks as well, which I'm getting ready to attempt to make my own tiger. It'll look quite different from George's, I am sure, but we'll see what happens.
I made my own tiger as well, and I'm pretty sure that George is going to be so proud of me.
Wow,
So
he
it's-
will.
Yeah, it will be in the stores very soon.
Yes,
think.
I totally
Need
am
a
not
few-
sure
few
about
more
that.
chats with David.
Yeah,
But I'm all in. I think, yeah, David is going to be proud of me as well. So what you can see is that your solution can be very different, basically. So Jen and I both came up with very different things. And what we would like you to do is to go through our challenge. And when you go to the website, this is the website, you can find the challenge over there, and you can see the gallery with all of the solutions. You can see what other people have been working on, but you can find the challenge itself as well. And so this is how the challenge looks like. It's very easy, just one line with a background and one line with a challenge, basically, and what you need to do. And after working on it, which only takes like 30 minutes, 1 hour, or even like a few hours, you can submit your ID at the platform by uploading just one picture, one photo of your build, your creation, your solution, with a small description. And then after submitting, which can be you can submit as a teacher, you can submit being a student or a parent, and then you will get your own diploma, Lego diploma. And I think that's really wonderful. People love those certificates. And so the great thing is that you can find a gallery with all of the solutions for all of those different challenges, basically. And so you can be inspired by those as well.
Yeah, how about that? I love that, Koen.
And so I cannot wait to hear what David thinks about my design, Jen, and yours as well. So David.
Whoa.
I've changed
David.
location. Can
Yes,
you
you
hear me
have.
okay?
We hear
You
you.
can, yeah.
Sound great.
You can hear me. Good. I love your design. I was sharing with you that I built a tiger out of 4 bricks. So there's a challenge for everyone else.
Man.
So if you reduce the number of bricks, I'll be more impressed, Koen. But there you go. Very good job. Very
Challenge
good job.
is on. That is a tiger right there. That's it. Very
love it.
cool. How about this though? We've had classrooms, David, from all around the world that have been
Blow my
tuning
mind.
in. Some of them have been sharing questions. We heard from George. We talked about biodiversity, climate change, how kids around the world can make a difference. What do you think?
What do I think? My mind is blown. It's been incredible. I mean, how many ideas have we already heard today? And the challenge now is for everyone else listening to go away and attempt that challenge that Koen and Jen just showed you and get involved, share it back with TAG, Take Action Global, with the team. And we can't wait to see what you come up with. That's what Build the Change is about. But thank you for joining today. It's been so great. And thanks to Koen and Jen for organizing.
Well, David, thanks on behalf of our team, our global community, thanks to you and your team for everything that you do, prioritizing teachers and students and young people. It is so important, and we are grateful for you every single day. Yay!
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the Tiger says thank you too.
Thank you, Tiger. Thank you, classrooms. It's been great.
Thank you so much for joining, everyone. We love doing this with you, so we will most definitely, be doing another event with you, with students and teachers globally, working on other solutions. And this is just one solution I found, which was made by Tiffany students in the US.
Oh, look at
Promised
that.
it. Here it is. You can
Made it
see
happen.
those are solutions as well. They submitted it at our website, being one of the first solutions, and now it's your time. You need to work on your own solution. So please, after this event, start building, start creating, start playing and having fun and learning, and submit your ID at the platform.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
See
Bye-bye.
you soon.
Bye, guys. Bye.